Today we're going to talk about someone amazing, Alina Kornaro-Piscopia. She was the very first woman ever to get a PhD. And trust me, her story is one that literally changed the world.
Okay, let me ask you something. Imagine someone tells you no. You can't do this thing you really want to do. And it's not because you're not good enough or smart enough. It's just because of some old rule, a rule that's been around for like 500 years. Nobody's ever broken it. So what do? Could you be the one to break it?
Sounds pretty impossible, right? Well, back in 1678, one woman did. She stared that impossible rule right in the face, and she broke it. And in doing so, she basically changed everything.
So to really get just how huge this was, we got to take a step back. We need to understand the world she was up against. And let me tell you, it was a world of closed doors, especially for women.
Okay, so picture it. We're in the 1600s. Universities are the places to be for learning, for big ideas. Think of places like the famous University of Padua. These were the centers of the intellectual universe. But there was a catch. A big one. They were for men. Only. If you were a woman, that door wasn't just closed, it was locked and bolted.
And this went deeper than just some rule on a piece of paper. This was the culture. Back then, knowledge was power. And that power was kept on a really tight leash by a very small, very privileged group of guys. The thought of a woman breaking into that exclusive club, it wasn't just frowned upon. It was basically unthinkable. But right into the middle of this super rigid world, a truly incredible person was born. Someone whose mind just didn't see those limits. And that person was Alina Kornaro-Piscopia. I mean, her intellect was just wow. She didn't just learn a language or two. She mastered 7 of them. We're talking Latin, Greek, Hebrew, Spanish, French, and then, just for fun, Aramaic and Arabic. I mean, come on. That level of genius was practically unheard of for anyone, man or woman. And look, it wasn't just that she was born a genius. It was her drive. Her dedication was something else. There's this quote that says her passion for knowledge was relentless. Think about that. While everyone else was just going along with tradition, Alina was all in, completely focused on learning, with this insane discipline that just blew everyone else away. So you've got this brilliant mind, this unstoppable drive. You just know something's got to give. Alina's ambition was heading straight for a collision with that giant, unmoving wall of tradition.
See, she wasn't content to just study in private. No way. She wanted the real deal, official recognition for her work. So what does she do? She applies to the University of Padua for a doctorate in theology. And theology back then, that was the top of the mountain, the most respected field you could study. She wasn't just knocking on the door. She was aiming for the penthouse.
Now, you can probably guess the university had never, ever seen an application from a woman before. The committee, all men of course, was completely floored. So what happens? What possible reason could they have to turn her down?
Well, it definitely wasn't because she wasn't smart enough. No. Her genius was already famous all over Europe from all the public debates and exams she'd already aced.
The reason was, well, it was simple. And honestly, it's infuriating to even think about today. It was because she was a woman. That's it. The officials, both from the church and the university, basically said, a woman can't hold this title. Period. End of story.
But Alina didn't back down, and she had people in her corner, including her dad, who was pretty powerful. They were not taking no for an answer. They fought back. And what happens next? This is the moment everything changes.
Okay, so a deal was made. A compromise. And this is so important, right? Because it shows that big changes don't always happen in one giant leap. Sometimes it's about pushing, negotiating, and just not giving up. The university said, okay, no doctorate in theology, but we will let you get one in philosophy. For them, this was a massive, groundbreaking concession.
And so it happened. June 25th, 1678. A date that would go down in history, right there at the University of Padua.
Imagine the scene. Alina stands up in front of this huge crowd, in front of all these super important scholars, and gives her defense. In flawless, classical Latin, by the way. And the reaction? People were just blown away. They were stunned. She wasn't just good, she was exceptional. She passed with flying colors. It was official. She was a doctor.
But this was so much bigger than just a personal win. This was the first shot in a revolution, and that created a legacy that to this day is unbreakable.
Just look at this. In 1678, You had exactly one woman on the entire planet with a PhD. Her, Elena. Fast forward to today, and we're talking millions. She was that first spark, the one that started a fire that's still burning hundreds of years later. That is what happens when one person breaks one barrier.
What she did sent a message so loud and clear that we can still hear it today. She proved, without a shadow of a doubt, that how smart you are, what you're capable of, has absolutely nothing to do with your gender.
So what can we learn from her amazing story? Well, it kind of boils down to three things. First, a lot of the rules and barriers we face, they're just old traditions, not real limits. Second, and this is the big one, tradition can be changed. And third, knowledge doesn't belong to any one group. It belongs to anyone with the passion to go after it.
You see, Elena's story isn't just some old tale from a history book. It's a challenge. It's an inspiration. She saw a wall that everyone said was unbreakable, and she didn't turn back. She found a way to smash right through it. So that really just leaves one final question, a question for you. What barriers are you going to break?